a small town, there lived a father named David and his son Ethan. David was a simple man. He worked as a construction laborer. Every morning before sunrise, he would leave home carrying his old lunchbox and return late at night covered in dust and sweat. His son Ethan was only 10 years old. Ethan loved his father, but he never truly understood how hard his father worked. One day at school, Ethan saw his classmates wearing expensive shoes and carrying brand new backpacks. When he came home, he looked at his father's worn-out clothes and felt embarrassed. "Dad," Ethan said, "why can't we have nice things like everyone else?" David smiled softly. "One day, son. One day." But Ethan didn't know that his father was already sacrificing everything for him. Every day, David skipped breakfast to save money. Instead of buying himself new clothes, he kept wearing the same old shirt. When winter came, he gave Ethan the only warm jacket they had and spent the season shivering in the cold. Yet he never complained. Not once. Years passed. Ethan entered high school. He dreamed of becoming a doctor. The tuition fees were expensive, much more than David could afford. One evening, Ethan heard his father speaking on the phone. "I'll sell it," David said quietly. Ethan didn't understand what he meant. The next day, David's old motorcycle was gone. That motorcycle was his most valuable possession. He had saved for years to buy it. Now he sold it to pay for Ethan's education. Still, Ethan never knew. David began walking several miles to work every day. Rain or shine, hot summer days, or freezing winter mornings. He walked because every dollar mattered. One afternoon, Ethan saw his father limping. "Dad, what happened?" "It's nothing," David replied. "Just a small injury." But the truth was different. David had hurt his leg at work. The doctor advised him to rest. If he continued working, the injury could become serious. But David couldn't afford to stop. So he kept working in pain. Every step hurt. Every movement was difficult. Yet he never told his son. Because Ethan's dream mattered more than his own comfort. Years later, Ethan was accepted into medical school. The family celebrated. But David quietly sat in the corner, smiling, proud, happy. That night, Ethan accidentally discovered a box hidden under his father's bed. Inside were unpaid medical bills, old prescriptions, and letters from the bank. David had borrowed money to support Ethan's education. The debt was enormous. Ethan couldn't believe it. For the first time, he realized how much his father had sacrificed. But there was something even more shocking. One medical report revealed that David had been diagnosed with a serious heart condition years ago. The doctors recommended treatment. Yet David had postponed it repeatedly. Why? Because every dollar went toward Ethan's future. Tears filled Ethan's eyes. All these years, his father had suffered silently, without asking for recognition, without expecting gratitude. The next morning, Ethan confronted him. "Dad, why didn't you tell me?" David smiled. "Because that's what fathers do. We carry burdens so our children don't have to." Ethan broke down crying. For years he had complained. For years he had wished for more. Yet his father had already given him everything. Not through money, but through sacrifice. Time passed. Ethan graduated from medical school with top honors. On graduation day, he searched through the crowd. Thousands of people were there. Then he saw him, his father, standing quietly in the back, wearing the same old suit, the suit he had owned for years. Ethan walked onto the stage and received his degree. When asked if he wanted to say a few words, he nodded. He looked directly at his father and said, "Everyone sees the success, but very few see the sacrifice behind it. My father gave up his dreams so I could chase mine. He worked through pain. He skipped meals. He sold everything he owned, and he never asked for anything in return." The entire hall became silent. Many people wiped tears from their eyes. David lowered his head, trying to hide his emotions. After the ceremony, Ethan hugged his father tightly. For a long time, neither spoke. No words were needed, because sometimes love is not spoken, it is sacrificed. Years later, Ethan became one of the most respected doctors in the city. He finally earned enough money to give his father a comfortable life, a beautiful home, good health care, everything David had ever deserved. One evening, while sitting together on the porch, Ethan asked, "Dad, was it worth it?" David looked at the sunset and smiled. Then he said, "The greatest reward for a father is seeing his child succeed. I never lost anything. I gained everything." And in that moment, Ethan understood a truth that many people learn too late. A father's love is often invisible. It doesn't always come in words. It comes in early mornings, late nights, missed meals, hidden pain, and silent sacrifices. The world may never see them, but they build the future of their children every single day. So if your father is still with you today, call him, thank him, spend time with him. Because one day, you'll realize that many of your greatest blessings were built by sacrifices you never saw.